Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. What's the thought process behind getting Von Miller on your team?
Yeah, number one, always trying to find a competitive addition to our football team. We say it all the time, 24/7, 365. What I love about Von is we've got a lot of inside information, knowledge about him as a player. Certainly what he's accomplished is incredible, but what you hear about him as a teammate is even more incredible. And my few conversations with him, he's really excited about being part of what we're building here, and he's going to add a lot, not just on the field but off the field as well. And I think we're creating competition at a spot that is good. In no way, shape, or form is this where he comes in and takes over any of that. He's just another really good player that we're adding to the addition of Rashawn Gary, Donovan Ezaraku, Malachi Lawrence, James Houston played great the other night, Sam Williams, T. Wheat, Isaiah Land, Marist. It's deep, and you can never have enough pass rushers.
Those conversations that you had, what was one of the better things that you heard and said, yeah, he's out, he's the type of guy we need?
Yeah, I think him talking about how much he can help, some of these young guys. Let's be honest, Malachi's a young player. Easy's still a young player. The influence, sitting in meetings with him and watching film, that's really powerful. And the guy has no ego. He wants to win. He's a huge fan of the Cowboys, obviously growing up in Texas. And I know he's told you guys about his dad, and that's home. So very, very excited to add him to our football team, and look forward to getting him here and getting him some work.
Prior to a deal as Cowboys, certainly we know what he is as a mentor and former Super Bowl champion and sack leader, but at 37, what does he still have in his tank that can help you on the field?
Yeah, I think you look at it, he understands the game. The football intellect, intelligence is pretty, top tier. The production last year was really real, 9 sacks. That's hard to do at this level, but again, he's still got first step quickness. He still understands angles. He's still got a great assortment of counter moves. And again, our plan to use him, we think, will help him be very, very functional. He's not going to play 60 plays a game. That's not what we're looking for. But he's going to get the snaps that he gets, and he's going to make us better. And hopefully, we are playing a lot of games with the lead, and he, along with those other guys I mentioned in that room, will go out there and hunt together.
How does he fit with Christian Parker's scheme? He can be more going to the quarterback. He won't be dropping the coverage. Is that what we're talking about here?
Yeah, all these guys have to drop a little bit, and I think that's part of playing the 3-4. But CP and I are pretty smart. We're not going to drop guys that are really good at chasing the passer, but that's something that you have to do occasionally in the 3-4 to keep the offense guessing. But again, I think you listen to CP, the understanding of him. He's trained with BT. Talking about Von, of course, he's trained with BT, and we're really excited.
Brian Schottenheimer with ESPN. When you're about to sign a guy like this, do you have conversations with the guys in the room like you kind of mentioned to us at the start there?
Yeah, as a staff we do, and again, like everyone should be excited that we're adding a great teammate, a very talented player that's accomplished what he's accomplished. If they don't want to compete every day, they're not in the right organization, because that's what we're looking to do. We're looking to build. But the conversations that were had, the guys understand, they get it. And again, I think it's going to bring the best out of everybody.
And then obviously the Saints coming here tomorrow. What are your expectations for that?
Yeah, carry over a little bit, from what we did with the Rams. Kel is obviously a friend, and they just had a joint with the Saints, and then they're actually having another joint with the Rams a couple days after us. So, Kel and I have kind of laid it out. It'll be very similar to what we did with the Rams. A few less reps since they have another joint coming up, but you'll see a lot of the same situational work, some of the special team stuff that we need to get done. And then I think it'll seem familiar to you guys.
John Machado with The Athletic. Adding Von Miller now, where do you think you guys are at personnel-wise on defense? Like, is there still more to be done, or do you like what you got right now?
I love our roster. I really do. I think we're a talented roster. We're way different on paper this year than we were last year, but we're not done. We're not done developing our players. We're not done getting the young guys ready to go. We're not done potentially adding pieces. But I love our roster. I love the makeup of the young men in that room, the way they love one another, the way they care about one another. And, I know I pointed out the other day, but I'm going to point out again, if you got guys like Jonathan Mingo that's literally 25 yards behind the play, and he's willing to run for the love of the game, but more importantly, the love of his brother, to keep a guy from scoring on a punt return for a touchdown, you've got the right chemistry.
And you had Maffa and Barron with injuries in the game, and then obviously Barham coming back. Can you give any updates on it?
Yeah, we got a few guys coming back. Zion will start working back into practice. Jay Sean will. Devin Moore will. Got a few guys banged up from the game. Phil's ribs, Izzy's ribs. Jaden's got a shoulder. And then 2 guys won't practice today, Bullard, and then Triggs got a toe that he's dealing with. But we're not concerned about it.
Nick Harris for Star Telegram. Going back and looking at the film, what did you like, not like from the running backs?
Number one, we didn't block very well in the first half. We weren't very efficient running the football. Some of that is the fact that they're pretty big and stout in there, and we didn't have a lot of perimeter runs up, Nick, to get the ball on the edge. I would say again, it was probably an 8-iron that we showed in the game. But I thought you look at certain guys like Malik Davis, that I talked about. I mean, his ability to move the chains, and Izzy ran really, really hard. But there really wasn't in the first half a lot there for guys like Jaden and Phil. As they were battling uphill a little bit, but we figured it out in the second half. And but that'll be a big part of what we're trying to do, throughout this week, is some of the padded work that we get against the Saints and ourselves heading into Arizona. We need to move people better inside.
As a staff, principally, coming out of the first preseason game, how different are those personnel meetings when you're looking at the depth chart and trying to crack things out?
Yeah, it's different. We're 3 weeks into camp. We've had a joint. We've had a we've had a preseason game. We got another joint coming. We've made some adjustments. No, I'm not going to tell you what those adjustments are. We're creating competition, and you guys see some of them today, but all the guys have been informed of why we're making those decisions. Nothing's finalized, but we're trying different combinations of people, and some guys have earned the right to move up and get different reps, and other guys maybe need to play a little bit better, so they're going to lose a rep or two, but we're a long way from being done.
Tommy Yarsh, DallasCowboys.com. With Von, what is the timeline looking like for him to be on the practice field? When do you hope he starts working into team drills and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, he'll be a ramp up. I mean, he's going to be no different than any new player you would add, certainly one that hasn't been in camp. We're not going to rush him out there. There's no need to do that. It's more getting him around the fellas, getting him, with Chidera and CP and the defensive staff. But he's going to be in a ramp-up. I'm pretty sure he hasn't forgot how to rush the passer or play football. But we'll be smart with him, and I think he gets in tonight, and we'll get rolling with him tomorrow.
And then watching everything back, what did you think of how your special teams units played and coverage, returns, things like that?
Yeah, not good enough. Addressed that today with the guys. It's not the standard. We know that, but it's also preseason game 1. Our mantra is get back to basics. You got to pay more attention to detail. Very, very disappointed in how we lost contain. Very disappointed in how we gave up kick side leverage. When the ball's supposed to be kept on your right shoulder, keep it on your right shoulder. The ball's supposed to be on your left shoulder, keep it on your left shoulder. And then we did a terrible job of communicating non-verbally, on the coverage teams. Hey, I'm the ball player, I'm the outside player, I'm the capper. Didn't do a good enough job of that. So we had a long special teams meeting today. It's going to be a big part of our emphasis because it wasn't good enough.
Louis Scruggs, NBC5. Von Miller said on a podcast that he has 10 to 15 plays in him per game. Your thoughts on that?
I think we won't really know that. I mean, I think, like I said, we're not expecting him to come in here and play 40 plays a game, 10 to 15. Great plays sound good to me. If it's 18 to 20, that's cool too. But he's a great addition. But that room's really talented, and I'm so excited about what we're building in that room with Rashawn and Easy and those guys. And Malachi, I think, played really well. We got him some work. I think that was great to see, and I can go on and on, keep naming them. You guys know all the guys. Marist rushed well. T-Wheat, T-Wheat played awesome, finished the game, couple big sacks. Isaiah Land got a big sack. But Von's going to make us better on and off the field, and I think that's what we're excited about.
Think of another time in your career or one of your dad's teams where you brought in a player like a Von Miller in a training camp and they've had an impact for you later on in that season?
Yeah, when you ask the question, I always try to go on what first jumps into my mind. It wasn't during training camp, but we brought in San Diego, we brought in Keenan McCardle like week 3 or 4. He came in on a Tuesday night and played 65 plays on Sunday, which is unusual. But veterans, they know how to figure it out, you know. And you find like a little cheat code that helps them certain things that they might not know. They look to the sidelines and you give them a little reminder and they're like, yeah, I got that. But I think he ended up playing 65 plays, had a couple catches, and it's one of the benefits of being a guy that understands the game. Oh, Brad.
Sorry. Oh,
No questions, Brad, huh? No questions today.
you're entirely too thorough.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Brad. Write that down, guys. Clarence, especially you, too thorough.
Coach Parcells.
No, that's Schottenheimer.
Yeah.
Hey, Blufford.
Hey, Coach Parcells is at the watching the ponies right now. Let's be honest. Yeah, he's Saratoga, baby.
153, the fan. You talked about moving people better inside. And last week we talked about how walkthroughs can lead to playing a little high. And I just wondered, it was part of that first half trouble pad level.
Yeah, it was. It was, baby, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say it was. There were some things. They were big front, big physical front. You know, we have a lot of respect for, you know, AD, Coach Durday, Mike McDonald. They're big and physical, but yeah, we did. We played a little high and didn't get the movement. There was too much penetration on some of our gap schemes. I thought, you know, with the tight ends coming across on some of the kick-out blocks and stuff, they got a little bit high and got knocked around a little bit. And it's all part of playing real football.
Remember the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
Joe Hoyt, Dallas Morning News. You kind of touched on the offensive line a little bit, but what do you need to see from that offensive line depth over the next couple of weeks to feel confident about it?
Yeah, again, I'm anxious to see us go up against the Saints, and you know, we got a good look at a number of the guys that are battling for positions in that 6th, 7th, 8th rotation. They played the other day, and some good snaps, some bad snaps, as you would imagine, but consistency. You know, and playing together and communication, all those things go hand in hand with having a really good offensive line. And we'll also be looking to, you know, move some pieces around and to see how they would function, because as you know, you're rarely going to go through a season without having different combinations of offensive linemen. And so we need to be prepared for that by getting guys reps at other positions.
You guys brought in Vaughn, BT Jordan, Chidera, a lot of voices in terms of their pass rush. How excited are you about just the different types of voices and the different types of hands-on coaching you can have with some of these guys?
Well, I think the big thing to be said there is they all believe the same stuff. Like if you have a guy that comes in that believes in rushing the passer this way or rushing the passer that way, and he's like, yeah, don't listen to what he says. Hey, here's the way you need to do it. But, you know, Vaughn obviously has got his experiences, but he's been trained by BT Jordan. Chidera and BT have been working together for a long time. Chidera is an expert at it as well. I think you can see it with the way some of our guys are playing on the edges. I mean, we forced Seattle into situations late in the game where they had to use double chippers. And but the thing for me is that there's alignment with how we want to rush the passer. And whether that's, you know, DeMarcus Ware when he's around, you know, Charles Haley when he's around, you know, there's alignment with how we want to do it.
Hey Coach, Nicole Hutchison, DallasCowboys.com. Reddy Stewart, I feel like hasn't been talked about a lot throughout camp. He's had a nice camp, had half a sack with Tyrus Wheat this weekend. Where do you kind of evaluate him, and what have you been impressed with?
Yeah, number one, played terrific. Really was proud of him. It's funny because literally BT Jordan took credit for Reddy's half a sack. So he said, yeah, I taught him that. I said, no, you can't do that. Anybody gets a sack, you can't take credit for it. Okay, BT, like, let's just, but no, I mean, you know, Reddy, he's always ready to play. He does everything right. His motor, his effort, his communication skills, he played really well. Julius Wood, some big-time plays. The goal line stand we had, they ran a little toss play to their sideline. Incredible play. And but, yeah, Reddy he's having a really good camp.
Brad Sham, Cowboys Radio 105.3, The Fan. You called me out. I can't have that.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that these games in August don't count, but they matter. We've all seen the clip. You seem pretty energized about the win afterwards. And Clayton walking out said, I've been in here 9 times, and I've never walked out winning a game. So how important in the grand scheme of things was winning that game?
Yeah. I don't think winning the game was as important as playing the game, but I do think that the best way to learn how to win is to win. We came out healthy, which is a big part of it. But I thought the play style was on demand. I told the players today, I felt like if you were just watching that game from, the top row of the stadium, it felt like a regular season game. Guys were flying around. It was physical. They were swarming to the ball. Receivers were blocking, for us. There was big plays. There were matchups. There were adjustments. I think that was the better part, is that we're beginning to put on film what our play style and identity looks like. And that's really what you're trying to get done in August. And it doesn't really matter if it's in Quest, Lumen, Field, whichever one it is, or out here at practice. You want to feel that each and every day.
A couple of things. Quarterbacks, why did you start Sam, and will the other guy get the next start?
Who's the other guy? No, basically, we felt like Sam had been a little bit more consistent. They'd both done good things. And so Sam got the start. We communicated that to Joe, and Joe took it very matter-of-factly and went out and played terrific. Both guys moved the team, but I thought Joe was maybe in the best command of our system that he's been in since he's been here, and I told him that after the game, how proud I was of him for that. But they're competing again to see, this week, and I'll let you know when we make that decision.
Christian Parker, first game out, can you just talk about what you saw from him? I know we talked briefly after the game, but now that you watched the film and can take it all in, what did you see from him in that defense?
Yeah, the belief of, what he wants to run, the conviction. There were some really cool adjustments that he made where there was a call he made early in the game. I won't get into specifics that he didn't really like based off what they were doing. He immediately adapted. I think that shows experience. That shows understanding of coverage. And I did give him a hard time because I don't think I could call a game without looking at a call sheet. I mean, that'd be pretty hard, but again, it shows you that he knows what he wants. And overall, I thought it was a really good start. But again, one game, and there's things he'll take away from that and be, hey, I need to improve this, I need to do that a little bit better. Our sideline communication across the board, all three phases, even to the box to talk to coaches can be better. But it was a good start.
With Christian, demeanor-wise, is that like, are you listening? I know you call them plays, so it's probably hard to listen to what they're saying between things. But are you trying to see what he's like in between series, or anything like that?
Yeah, it's more I like to hear the flow of the information that he's receiving, because when you're a play caller on the field, I've been that, and the information flow was more that I was listening to how he was getting information from the box, from Ryan Smith and guys like that. But yeah, I mean, he's exactly the way he is in practice. Very cool, very calm, knows what he wants, quick to make adjustments. But I do think that for the first game, it was very, very clear that the staff was aligned with communication and getting information to him. And I thought he called a good game.
You talked about your coaches being teachers. Did you learn something about how good of maybe your teachers are on the defensive staff? It didn't look like a lot of busts. It didn't look. I don't know if there was a missed tackle, that they're buying what those guys are.
Well, unfortunately, I saw the stat. There was a missed tackler too, but we'll go with a 19-0 from last year. I did see that stat, but no, absolutely. I'm gonna stick with that, Todd. Honestly, the tackling, to do a drill is cool, right? It's a drill. You video it, you teach off of it, but to see the tackling drills and circuit come to life on game day, and the knockback and the shimmy before we make our tackles, and to strike and to run your feet and all those things, that shows you have good teachers.
Jeff Gold with Fox 4, coached since day one out here. We've seen and heard your guys talking a lot about the Super Bowl. Obviously, Vaughn has won the Super Bowl twice. What type of value do you put on having a guy now here that can speak to that type of experience and having that type of success?
Yeah, I think he's going to talk, Jeff, about a lot of things. I mean, I think that's important when you're a champion. You know, you can speak to that as we climb this ladder and we get closer to our main objective, which is SoFi 2027, Valentine's Day. But the biggest reason is we think he's going to impact us both on and off the field as a player. He's going to give us great versatility and great depth as a pass rusher, and then in the locker room, the experience and just the fact that he cares about his teammates. He wants to help not just the outside linebackers, but maybe it's the offensive tackles. Hey, think about this, think about that. Here's how I would attack you. That's invaluable, and it's cool that the two sides came together and made it happen.
How thrilled is CP to finally have a defensive player older than himself?
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. I had Doug Flutie and Brett Favre that were older than me. That was hard. But no, I think they have a great relationship, and I'm certainly there'll be a big man hug when they see each other.
Milton's footwork, how have you seen that progress since last preseason to now?
Yeah, well, I'll point to the in route that he hit to Cam Brown. You know, he was working we call it a flamethrower read, really going left to right. In this case, could be right to left as well. But he was working the front side combination and came back to the in cut and